Hey everyone, it's Reverend Cherie here with day 45 of Revisiting Unlock Your Treasure. Unlock Your Treasure is a powerful 46-day immersion course. You can go and access it at upchurch.org. It is powerful. It is a really simple process to get into it. And what I'm doing today is I'm expounding on day 45's lesson. I really just want to live in this zone of choice. That in the lesson today, I talked about that you're always at choice. It's important that we remember that we're choosing our experience. Many of us feel like life is happening to us. We feel like we have control over some parts of life, but that really life is kind of happening to us. And that feeling that the things that happen to us are more abundance and more powerful than what we can actually choose to do and what we can actually choose to experience. And what I want to do is help you to reshape and reorder your thinking around that, because in reality, you are at choice about your life. We're constantly making choices, and many of us make choices based on the things that are coming up around us. These life choices, these life happenings are coming our way, and we're choosing to just deal with what's happening. And what I want to tell you is that there's a powerful scripture, the Psalm 23. And the part of the scripture that I want to pull out and I want you to remember today is this particular line. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of dark. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Yea, though I walk through. I want you to remember that you're always walking through the darkness. Many of us start to live in the darkness because it keeps happening to us. We keep having experiences that don't feel like light emanating from us. We keep having these experiences. We're trying to push what's happening outside of us and believe that. And so because of that backwards way of thinking, we're walking in darkness. And you don't want to set up a tent in the darkness. You want to remember that I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I walk through the valley of darkness. I'm not meant to live in that space. So what you do, the way that you get out of the darkness is that you begin to remember to choose, that you were given power, authority, dominion over your mind, and that your responsibility as a son of God, as a child of God, as a divine being is to choose a better life, is to have a new thought. You see, many of us dig ourselves into these holes. And I will tell you, I've been in these holes, and I've been in a place where it feels like, how do I get myself out of this experience? And the first thing you have to do is choose to see yourself differently. You have to choose to see your circumstance differently. You have to choose to think. You see, because many of us are just reacting to what's going on around us, but every moment you get an opportunity to get in your rightful seat and choose your experience. Choice by choice. The first thing you need to do is just think about what you're thinking about. You're in the valley of the shadow of dark. What are you thinking about in there? Are you there thinking about how bad life is? Are you there thinking about how depressed you are? Are you there thinking about how you wish that you could be like somebody else? Immediately begin to think a new thought. Choose to think a new thought. Choose to think, I'm meant for more than this. Choose to think that, you know what? I got into this situation, but I have the power and presence of God within me. I can choose a new direction. I can choose a new situation. I want you to remember that you have the power to choose. We're turning the key of victory. Victory doesn't come to those who don't choose it. It's important that you remember you always have the power to choose. No matter what circumstance you're in, find a new thought to choose. Begin to choose consciously that I am meaning to get out of this. I remember I'm going through the valley. I'm not living in the valley. I don't always have to be in the situation that I'm in. I'm walking through it. And the way that I get to the other side of it is that I began to entertain a new train of mind. I began to entertain a new train of thought. I began to think a new thought. I began to choose to think something differently, because I remember that I create my experience. I remember that I create my experience, and my experience reflects what I believe. And so every choice I make is building up a new, stronger belief in the reality of my being, that I'm good through and through, that there's nothing wrong with me, that there's everything right with me. You see, you gotta come from that space. And then when you're walking through the valley, you don't feel so affected. The darkness doesn't consume you, because you realize I am the light. And so though the experiences around me may may be dark. The experiences around me may not be what I want to experience. I am the light walking through the darkness. So I can walk through this without fear because I know that I am the very essence of God in expression, and that whatever's going on around me must conform to who I really am. I want you to remember that today. I want you to move forward with the power and conviction of your true identity. You are a beam of light. You are good through and through. There's nothing wrong with you. There's everything right with you. Work with that today. Choose that thought today and begin to allow yourself to transform your experience. God bless you today. Have a beautiful, love-filled and joy-filled day. God bless.